might sound a little weird. This is because I'm sick, so I hope you're a little patient with me. When we hear the word cancer, what comes to our mind? One of the first things that comes to our mind is a person without hair. So today I'm going to be talking to you about my experience with hair loss and the things that I wish I knew back then that I didn't. As I told you previously, one of the first things that I asked whenever they told me that I had cancer was, am I going to lose my hair? Whenever my doctor was giving me my chemo regimen, one of the first things he said was, you might lose your hair. And this might happen the third week. I didn't know how to count it, if this was gonna be the third week after my first chemo or the third chemo. Usually doctors don't tell you something radical. They don't tell you, yes, you're gonna lose your hair, or no, you won't, because some patients, even though they're like not the majority, don't lose their hair. I had some sort of hope that this was not gonna happen to me, of course. I remember one summer day I went out with my cousins. We were playing tennis, and whenever I got back home, I took a shower and I washed my hair, and there was like a lot of hair on the shower. And I was like, I'm not gonna freak out because this is probably from the shower. Whenever you wash your hair, you lose a lot of hair. But then whenever I dried it and I was kind of brushing it, like I remember chunks of hair came out of my head, and it was like huge chunks. It wasn't 3 pieces of hair, it was like a lot of hair. I thought that was all the hair that I had in my head. So I told my family, and one of the answers that I got was, yeah, you sort of knew this was gonna happen. And yes, even though I knew this was gonna happen, one thing is to think about it, and then another thing is to face it. For me, this meant that this was no longer gonna be only my information. I'm a pretty private person, so in the moment I didn't feel that comfortable to be telling people that I was sick. I didn't want people to look at me differently or treat me differently. Like, I didn't want to be treated as a sick person. So for me, this meant being exposed, and that this information was not longer gonna belong only to me. It was gonna be a public domain, and it felt pretty bad. I remember after my hair started falling, it was everywhere. Like, I would wake up, my bed would be full of hair, the bathroom would be full of hair, the floor would be full of hair, and it was really messy. Things that I didn't know about hair loss. Your hair does not fall all perfectly. It doesn't leave you like a perfect bald head. This is because hair has several stages of growth, and not all the hair is growing actively. And as we know, cancer cells have an uncontrolled growth, and this is one of the things that chemotherapy attacks. One of the bad things about chemotherapy is that it cannot tell the difference between a cancer cell or a normal cell that is dividing constantly. One of the cells of our body that divides more constantly, or that grows more constantly, is the hair follicle. So this is why chemotherapy attacks your hair and it falls. But as I told you, not all hair is actively growing, so the hair that's not actively growing does not fall. My hair fell in the middle, and then I had like this little hairs over here, they didn't fall. Another thing that I didn't know was that hair falls absolutely everywhere. Yes, you want it to wax, but it definitely falls from your eyebrows and from your lashes too. Things that I would have done differently. I was prepping for my chemotherapy. One of the things that I did was cut my hair. My hair was pretty long. I didn't want the hair loss to be that messy, so I just cut it off. One of the things that you can do is go crazy, because anyways it's gonna fall. Like, you could dye it or do whatever you want with your hair. But I would definitely recommend just shaving it, because it makes it way less messy. That's probably what I would do if I was facing that again. And it's also less of a problem because as you're immunocompromised, when you are facing chemotherapy, inhaling one of those hairs could be a big problem. Number 2, you should wash your hair with shampoo, because even though there's no hair there, this is still scalp, so you need to take care of it. Don't go crazy washing your scalp with soap. Number 3, you should find something to cover your head on the sunny days, because the sun really hits hard, and on cold night, maybe like a hat or like a cap or something. And number 4, The hair growth, it's something that takes time, and even though we all want to be back to something that looks more like us, we have to find a way to feel comfortable while this is going on. So I would look for ideas on the internet, and there's many options. They have bandanas, they have wigs, a lot of options that you could just find something that suits you better. This is everything for today. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like it and share it. Subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you can know whenever we post something else. And of course, any questions that you have, or any experiences, or any topic that you want us to talk about here below, or you could send it to our mail and we'll be happy to reply.